Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
What you doing?
Well, we're gonna try to do whatever we can. It's a little rainy. It's a little windy. It's a little cold. Now, yesterday we were out here for a little bit, and it was just way too windy and way too cold. So today we're gonna attempt to do what we can. But I wanted to explain this right here.
All right.
And what you have here is, you see this little gold ring here?
Yeah.
That's the seal that's going the bottom of this thing. When you put it in,
So this is what?
this is the
water
thermostat.
pump? Oh,
No, this is the thermostat assembly. So you take this seal, which is this thing here, except this is the old
This
one.
is the old one.
And what it does is, it's got a rubber here and it's got metal here. So you set it in there as even as you can, and it's going to go down in there. And then what you do is, when it's sitting in there, you hold one side, and you can take just a large extension here, and you start tapping on this thing so that it settles in there evenly. Because if you tap on one side, it'll lift, and you tap over here, it'll lift. So you hold one side and you start tapping, and then you get it to where it's even all the way around. Okay? Then this, you add a little bit of lubricant. You add a little bit of lubricant here on the rubber. Okay? And because right now it's a little bit on the cold side, that rubber is not very flexible. But what you do is, you put this in here and you kind of turn it.
Yeah. The temperature is cold.
Yeah.
Everything is just turn hard.
Yeah, so it's a little on the cold side. So it's a little bit harder to get this in there. But you take this thing and you manipulate it in there gently, turn it, and then it'll go. And it'll settle in here. And what you have is this rubber thing here on both of them. And that is what's going to, let me show you. That is what's going to settle right here where you see this white.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I still have to clean this here, but that's where it goes. So what we're going to do is, we're going to clean this. Use a little bit of sandpaper and a scraper. Clean this and then bolt it back down. This is to the to that sensor, but we're gonna cut this strap right here and redo it up above. I have to get the little eyelet that goes in there. It's somewhere under the luggage compartments and stuff. And then after we're done with that, then we can work on putting this water pump in right here. So we have to put some hoses in here before we put it in there. Then it's a good idea to add a little bit of silicone all the way around this O-ring. This O-ring is the only thing that keeps this thing from leaking. So you add a little bit of silicone in there. It does two things. One, it helps lubricate going in. So this gear has to line up with the gear that's inside, so you kind of wiggle it around until it falls in place. And then as you push it in, it just, the teeth just go in. So once you get this thing lined up, the gears, and you push it in as much as you can, you're going to use the bolts to walk it in until it gets flush with this. So the silicone helps lubricate, and also once it's in place, it'll help seal up any little imperfections you have on the metal. Not so much on the pump, but on the engine itself. So where this is going to go in there, it'll, any imperfections you have here in the engine, as this goes in, that silicone will seal it up.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you got to make sure that these holes, these threads, or clean before you put it in there. These are the connections that came from the old pump, right? So you have to make sure that they're clean, because there's a connection down here that connects, and it goes right here. This pipe goes all the way across over to that side, so you have to make sure that the threads down there these threads right here on that pipe right there, so you have to make sure that that's clean, so you don't have a hard time getting that in the holes.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, there it is.
Okay.
Yep. All right, so let me do some prep. Let me clean up this thing. Let me do all that stuff, and then we'll go ahead and put that in there and put the bolts down, and then we'll prep this side over here, clean up all the threads, whatever needs to be done. Because once you put this silicone on here, you've got to do it as quickly as possible, because believe it or not, that silicone, even though it's kind of tacky, it dries up pretty quick. So
Okay.
you want it in there as quickly as possible and not be messing around.
Okay.
All right. Okay, guys, so a little update. So we put the thermostat assembly back in. We're missing, where is it? Oh yeah, right there. Behind this thing. We're missing that little connection there, which is a hose like this, but a little thinner. And it goes along this all the way to the top. It's on order. It has been shipped. And let me tell you, like everything else on the bus, it was not cheap. However, it's cheaper than if that thing breaks down on the road. That's all I got to say about that. And then we put in the water pump back in there. This hose here, where'd it go? Oh yeah, that one right there gets connected back in there with one of these, with this one here. So this one goes from there to here, and then this one gets connected to this one right there. Then this one goes to that one back there, and this one goes to the one that goes here, that gets connected down there. So this thing here goes from the top of the water pump to here, but tomorrow's another day. But it's all coming along and stuff. Now, I tried to order okay, there you go. That oh, can you see it? Oh yeah, there you go. Right there is where, in the middle is where that one hose that's on order goes. Yeah. It goes right there in the middle. And then that side glass right there, I was going to order yesterday, but it was on back order. So I looked around and I couldn't find anybody that had one. So I called them today to order it. And it's the original one is on back order till the end of March. However, if I want one, which is a different company, if I want one for March 3rd, so it's 27 days earlier, it's $145. So we're gonna wait till the end of March. 45 to 145, that's a big difference for the same thing. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do. All right. Okay, so there it is. Tomorrow's another day. Today's kind of nippy. We're a little bit on the popsicle side, so we're going to go home. It's about 4 o'clock, so a little bit early. It's okay. All right, guys. We'll update you when we finish. All right. See you. Thanks for watching.
ขอบคุณเจ้า
See you next time.
แล้วปะกันแฮมไมนะเจ้า
See you.
บ๊ายบาย